Hello Internet and welcome to yet another video. My name is Amir and on this video we are talking about the discography of the one and only Linkin Park. Growing up, my friend and I had very similar music tastes, and we were into bands like Deftones, Korn, Limp Bizkit, Mudvayne, Machine Head, etc. The list continues. My friend calls me one day and he says, "Dude, have you heard Linkin Park?" And I'm like, "I've heard of them, but I haven't heard them yet. I haven't checked them out." And he's like, "Dude, you need to check them out." I'm like, "What do I need to check out?" He's like, "Dude, just trust me and go buy the CD." I'm like, "What do they sound like?" He's like, "Imagine Backstreet Boys, but heavy." And I was intrigued. So I go to my local record store, I went to the warehouse, and I bought Hybrid Theory without hearing a single solitary track. And when I heard Paper Cut, the first track off of Hybrid Theory, I was hooked. I was absolutely 1000% hooked. And I was a fan of the band from that moment moving forward. Now, unfortunately, the band, as you know, had an abrupt end with Chester Bennington's untimely death, but they definitely left a mark on the music industry. So, on this video, I wanted to take all their albums and rank them from my least favorite to my favorite, like I've done with previous videos for the Deftones and System of a Down and Incubus and Seven Dust. And if you haven't seen any of those videos, what are you waiting for? Go check them out. But here we go. Album number 7 for me is... Man, did this album leave a bad taste in my mouth. Minutes to Midnight is a record that, going back and listening to it again in preparation for this video, I feel the exact same way that I did when I first heard it, and that was, what happened? Now, I know that they went and spoke to Rick Rubin, but Rick Rubin produced the record. They stayed at the Hollywood Mansion house where Slipknot recorded Volume 3 and the Chili Peppers recorded Blood Sugar Sex Magic and etc. And I'm not saying this music is bad. There's actually tracks on here that I really do like Giving Up, Leave Out All the Rest. The beautiful In Between, which was sung by Mike, which I believe was the first song that he sang. But there's songs on here that just, I don't get. Valentine's Day is there. Definitely one of my least favorite Linkin Park tracks ever released. However, the fantastic album closer, The Little Things Give You Away. What an excellent 6-minute plus opus to end this record. The phenomenally fun Bleed It Out with that really infectious chorus. The catchy single of What I've Done, not my favorite single of theirs, but definitely one that stood the test of time. And the genre bending In Pieces. But to me, one of the biggest missteps of this record is, where is Mike? I mean, Linkin Park for 2 records up to this point was Chester and Mike. You did not have Linkin Park with one or the other. It was both together as a group, as a combination, as a team, going back and forth on songs like Faint, on songs like One Step Closer, on Crawling, on Paper Cut, on those kinds of tracks. And then Mike is absent on this record. There's very little rapping on this record with the exception of Bleed It Out and Hands Held High. He does sing on In Between, but that's it. To this day, it's not one of the records that I go back to. There are songs on here that I really do like I said, Shadow of the Day, Leave Out All the Rest. Those are the 2 big highlights for me on this record. But other than that, a lot of missteps on the record. Definitely not my favorite. Living Things is a strange record to me. For me, I think this is a record where going in between, it's a transition record, right? So you have the phenomenal genre-bending Thousand Suns come out, and we haven't gotten to the straight-out heaviness and messiness of The Hunting Party, and this is something in between. Living Things is a good record, and there's great songs on here like Lost in the Echo, a phenomenal opener. The back-to-back 1-2 punch of In My Remains and Burn It Down, Lies, Greed, Miseries, freaking fantastic. I love Castle of Glass. But there's tracks on here that to me kind of go in between. They're good tracks. There's nothing wrong with them. And really, this feels just like a collection of songs. It doesn't feel like a cohesive idea or an album per se. It just feels like 12 tracks that they put together. I really do love like the first half of this record. The second half kind of loses it for me with the exception of Powerless. But overall, it's a decent record. And now we get to the final record from the band, the somber, beautiful, totally opposite direction of what the band was known for, One More Light. I remember the album coming out and a lot of people, including myself, being like, what the hell is this? Even more so than Minutes to Midnight. At least Minutes to Midnight was a rock record, where this didn't sound like a rock record. And I mean this with every inch of my being. This record is bittersweet for me because I gave it a second or third listen and came to really appreciate it for what it was. And then a week after, we lost Chester. This record hits me really, really hard because when this record did not get received well, I remember at least Chester kind of going back and telling people to stick it. But yeah, I love this record a lot. I love Nobody Can Save Me, Invisible, the absolutely heart-wrenchingly beautiful Heavy. I like One More Light and Sharp Edges. I love Sharp Edges. And one thing you can't fault this band for is that they are really, really good songwriters. When they put their minds to it, they put out some really quality stuff. I really do like this album a lot. The two tracks that kind of go over my head are Battle Symphony and Good Goodbye, but I just am not necessarily a fan of those songs. I really do like the melody and what they did on this record. This is the last record that we hear Chester on in Linkin Park, and to me it's a good way to go out. And yeah, I like this record. And now we get to The Hunting Party. This is such a fun record. It is super heavy and angry. It sounds like this was just put together, but it really wasn't. When you listen to the songs on this record, they're arranged very, very well, and I love the guest spots that they brought in, from Paige Hamilton to Rakim to Darren Malenkian from System of a Down, one of my favorite bands, and I love the fact that they brought him in to make a very system-sounding song from beginning to end. I love the guitar riff, I love the chorus, I love everything, especially that phenomenal bridge in the middle. I remember hearing Guilty All the Same for the first time, and that riff was stuck in my head forever. I used to just walk around and be like, dum 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 dum. I just love the way that the freaking song starts. It's freaking epic. I love songs like Final Masquerade and Until It's Gone, Wasteland's War. I mean, this record is a ton of fun, super, super heavy. And I remember one of the interviews where Chester was like, I was getting the demo recordings back from Mike and was like, oh, so this is the direction we're going in. I love the arrangement and the full-on just combination of everything of this record. It's really, really good. We are on the 10-year anniversary of 1,000 Suns, the concept record that I didn't know I wanted, and I don't think the world knew that they wanted, but very, very well put together, very, very well done. One of my top 5 favorite Linkin Park songs is When They Come For Me. I love that song from beginning to end. I love Mike's performance on that song. And Try to Catch Up, Motherfucker. Like, absolutely, absolutely perfection. Waiting for the End is such a beautiful ballad. Amazing, amazing song. Blackout is quintessential Linkin Park, a very futuristic Linkin Park, if you will. Iridescent's beautiful chorus. This album to me sometimes does feel a little bit bloated. And a key example of that is the runtime for The Catalyst. The main single on this record is 5 minutes and 40 seconds. While I like the song the way it is, in later performances they cut down the length of the song to like a 3-minute song or a 3.5-minute song. There's just too much fat on this record, just a little bit. But overall, an excellent listen from beginning to end. Definitely one of those concept records that you can't really just like listen to like one song and be done with it. It really is an album experience. Album number 2 is the album that started it all. I mean, I was blown away by this record. I did not know what I was getting myself into. I told you the story at the beginning of the video. My friend just told me to just go buy the record. No streaming, no nothing obviously existed back in the day. So I had to take his word for it, shell out $10 for the CD, pop it in my car. And when I heard Paper Cut for the first time, I was like, I'm digging this song. The verse is awesome. The chorus is amazing, but god damn that outro. The sun goes down and I feel the light betray me. I heard that, and I heard the dual vocals, and I heard the melody, and I heard the guitar line and everything, and I about lost it. I love that damn chorus. I love that damn outro, I should say. That outro makes that song. And the Reanimation version of it is so... I mean, it's not as good as the album, but it's It's freaking phenomenal. Songs like With You and Points of Authority, oh my goodness, dude, I mean, like, when I hear Points of Authority or when I hear With You, even to this day, like, it just gets my blood boiling. There's just certain parts of it, the way it hits, the way, I mean, I love the production on this record. Holy crap, do I love the production on this record. A Place for My Head, Forgotten, Pushing Me Away. But yeah, let's talk about the singles, shall we? One Step Closer. I can't think of a heavier song that doesn't have swearing in it. Shut Up When I'm Talking to You. How is it that chorus, how many years later, when did this record come out? Holy crap, 20 years ago. Is still infectious and still captures your attention. Definitely captures my attention. I love that riff. That riff is amazing. The production is absolutely amazing. That chorus is ridiculous. And I love the Reanimation version with Jonathan Davis from Korn. And I love when it goes into the Shut Up When I'm Talking to You part. He continues his vocals on top of that. Crawling is such a freaking amazing song. Obviously, right, the verses, it's one of the rare songs where, like, yeah, the chorus is amazing, but like that verse is absolutely beautiful. The way that Chester sings it is next level. Bonus songs that came out afterwards, that we heard afterwards, like My December and High Voltage. High December, obviously a very beautiful song and a hint of what the band could do when they slowed things down. This record made the band, man. I think this record like went diamond. I think it sold like 10 million records plus physical copies, right? Which in today's world is just absolutely insane. This isn't the record that I keep going back to because to me, the album that they released afterwards was absolute perfection because it's bittersweet. That's the album that afterwards they decided they don't want to make that kind of music anymore. But they nailed it with that record. And that record is... This record for me is trademark Linkin Park from beginning to end. It is perfect from beginning to end. There isn't a single song that I skip on this record. I love everything about it, which hurts me even more because we never got this Linkin Park ever again. We got Hyper Theory and Meteora, and then after that, they're like, we're good. But for my taste, this is the best thing that Linkin Park's ever put out. The Forward, even though it's 13 seconds, is a great way to start the record. The absolutely phenomenal Don't Stay. Sometimes I feel like screaming at myself. The very infectious Somewhere I Belong. Excellent Lying From You. The very worst part of me is you. Dude, when Chester screams that part in Lying From You, the very worst part of me is you, and he like holds that you for what seems like an eternity, and then on top of that scream, Mike is doing his like really angry rap. This isn't what I thought it would be. I never thought that what I said would have you running from me like this. Absolutely love that. Hit the Floor is so much fun, and a song that I wish that they performed more live. Easier to Run is a ton of fun as well. It was sort of a crawling sequel, the beat and everything, but I just love If I Could Change, I would. Take Back the Pain, I would. Retrace every wrong move that I made, I would. If I could stand up and take the pain, I would. If I could take all my shame to the grave, I would. I love, lyrically, I love this record. Cannot forget about Faint, the excellent chorus, Figure 09. Probably a demo title that they put on there and then just decided to keep it, and it always threw me off because it's track 8 and it's called Figure 09. Go figure. Breaking the Habit, a beautiful acoustic song that has electronic drums going around it with absolutely beautiful lyrics. The arrangement is phenomenal with the strings and everything. It is perfect. And finishing the album with the excellent Nobody's Listening. I love Mike's line where he says, I hate my rhymes, but I hate everyone else's more. I got a heart full of pain, a head full of stress, a handful of anger held in my chest. Man, I love that. Uphill battle, blood, sweat, and tears, nothing to gain, everything to fear. The very, very excellent number of the album closer. This record from beginning to end was absolutely perfection, and it is sad to me to talk about them in the past tense, but Linkin Park really did leave a lasting impression for me. I was lucky enough to see Linkin Park a handful of times. One of my favorites was the Summer Sanitarium tour with Mudvayne as the opener. Deftones second, which is Criminal. Should never happen. Linkin Park number 3. Limp Bizkit in Prime 4. And Metallica as the 5th. I saw them on some other tours too. I saw them at Project Revolution with Less Than Jake and Snoop Dogg and Korn, and then the other Project Revolution tour with the excellent My Chemical Romance and Taking Back Sunday. Really, really good shows, but the last time I saw them was by pure luck. I had just met a girl who I would end up marrying, and we were looking for things to do, and we found out that we had similar music taste. You know, we want to go out and enjoy each other's company. So it just so happened that we met in November, and a few weeks later, Live 105, the local radio station here, was going to have their Not So Silent Night concert at the Oracle Arena where the Warriors used to play. And the lineup was Fall Out Boy, Young the Giant, and Linkin Park. And Linkin Park came out, and Hunting Party had just come out. And so they came on stage and just tore it up, man. It was a super energetic set list. It was excellent. They were in prime form. Chester was in absolutely prime form. Absolutely killed it. Mike sang a few songs from Fort Minor, which, side note, Fort Minor is one of my favorite records, I think, of all time. Huge fan of that record. Absolutely. It's just sad that I didn't know that was going to be the last time I was ever going to see Chester in Linkin Park live. But I'm happy that I got to see them one last time, and I'm happy that I got to see that performance, and I'll put a screenshot of their set list. I mean, their set list was ridiculous. It was awesome. But yeah, that's Linkin Park for me. That was my list. What did you think of my list? Let me know in the comment section down below, and give me your list. What would you rank as your least favorite, your most favorite, and everything in between? If you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe and hit that like button, and let me know what else you would like to see, because hey man, I'm home for the next few weeks. I ain't going anywhere. My name is Amir. This is Hello Internet. More stuff on the way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time.